Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues, industry leaders, and distinguished guests. It's the last session, so I try to make it shorter, not to make it a 30 minutes speech. But really, it's an honor to stand before you at this pivotal moment when the insurance industry finds itself as the crossroads of economic viability and environmental sustainability. Really, we are struggling, and as I am aware of the presentations up to this point, I hear the same thing. We are just in between, trying to cope with these two sides. I'm not here to give you some glimpse about the best practices that we do, because most of you are much more sophisticated and mature markets in terms of when we consider the ESG, sorry. But I try to just give you a glimpse about what is done in Turkey. I try to briefly go through the ESG in insurance, the Turkish practice, what we are doing as the market, insurance market, and what we are doing as the association. Just when we concentrate on the current landscape, the world, as we know, it is changing rapidly, from the escalating impacts of climate change to the profound demands for social justice and robust governance. The urgency for the action has never been clearer or more critical. As insurers, we are uniquely positioned to respond to these challenges. As you know, not only do we understand risk better than anyone, but we also have the financial influence, power to drive significant change in corporate behaviors and societal norms. I try to be a little bit divide what we do on behalf of ourselves as insurers and what we can, impact, what we can do as an impact to other partners. When we take into the environmental sustainability, today, the insurance sector is increasingly confronted with the need to mitigate risks associated with the climate change, catastrophic events such as wildfires, hurricanes, floods. They are much more frequent and severe, which we live in Turkey as well. In the last 5 years, we have many occasions, unfortunate flood in north of Turkey, wildfires in south of Turkey, and these are coming, every year. Since I've been, I get this position in 2020, I've never lived a year without any catastrophic risk. And lastly, unfortunately, we have experienced a huge earthquake. So it was devastating, which was affecting 11% of the total population. And also, when we compare it with the GDP percentage, it's also coming to 10 to 15% of the GDP, causing a bill of $100 billion, which 5% is insured and 95% protection gap. So it was really a huge and very costly training environment for us, but we learned many things from it. So we have the power now to cope with the government, so make some initiatives so that we put insurance in the center of many policies. We recognize that how we respond to these risks, price them, and ultimately reduce them is paramount not only to our survival, but our thriving as an industry. When we come to the social responsibility, when we consider am I wrong or not, but I'm surprised that when we consider these ESG, we always, there's a coincidence that we think that the environment first, but which is the reality as well. And social responsibility coming, unfortunately, the second level, and governance in the third, which is really, as it's written, especially when we consider the Turkish practice, I have to confess. Turning into the social responsibility, the insurance industry plays a crucial role in supporting social equity. Our products and services must be designed to be inclusive, catering to underserved communities and protecting the most vulnerable. Additionally, our internal practices related to diversity, inclusion, labor rights, and community engagement reflect our commitment to social responsibility and can set a benchmark to others to follow. I mean, we are seeing ourselves as a role model. And last, governance. Ethical governance is the backbone of any successful ESG. We believe in it. It is imperative that we uphold the high standards of integrity and transparency. This means rigorous compliance, robust risk management frameworks, and clear, consistent reporting is very important, as insurers, our commitment to these principles not only builds trust with stakeholders, but also secures reputation as pillars of the financial community. So when we look at the ESG in Turkey, I mean, we are not the best, but we are not doing bad. I mean, in terms of ESG environment, there are 7 components which are in progress at the moment. First of all, Turkey has prepared its own Green Deal action plan in the line with EU Green Deal. Although we are not a part of EU, but we are trying to be, you know, very parallel with the EU legislation. This action plan aims to take steps in combating climate change, environmental sustainability, clean energy transition, and green economy. Turkey has taken important steps in investment renewable energy sources. The use of clean energy sources, such as wind, solar, has been increased. 43% of the total production of the energy is coming from the clean resources when we consider the geothermal and hydroelectric as well. I mean, which is very considerable amount, 43%. And I think the Turkey is heading about 2% of overall world average, which is 13% when you consider the solar and wind energy. Turkey has determined a strategy to combat climate change. This strategy aims to reduce greenhouse gases emission and increase energy efficiency. Investments have been made in sustainable transportation projects in big cities, especially. For example, really, it was a very happiness and happy coincidence that we have a recent local elections, and most of the parties who were, tried to be voted, put their sustainable policies into action for the first time, and they tried to, get attracted the people's perspective. So sustainability, greener cities, robust buildings become one of the main priorities and commitment to the society for the first time. So Turkey has implemented various projects to protect forests and water resources as well, expanding forest areas and sustainable use of water, sustainable agriculture practices, which are embedded with the insurance as well, and the farm insurance, are encouraged and promoted in agricultural fields with the dissemination of organic agriculture, effective use of water resources as well. And when we consider the financial sector, Turkey has started to develop green financing, sustainable investment products. Since 2016, it began with 300 million US dollars issuing, and now it's maybe 20 times of it. Environmental control, when we consider Turkey is strengthening environmental inspection and regulations day by day. New regulations have been made specially to control the environmental impacts of industrial facilities. And finally, in the end of 2021, Sustainable Finance Framework has been issued. And recently, this year, sustainable reporting standards are issued, and we will be adapting it to insurance sector as well. We will be recently having a tour of meetings with the regulator. When we consider the ESG in insurance sector, we try to help firms define what ESG means for their business and brand, creating a clear roadmap for the business which can be adopted and implemented by business. When we consider the product and proposition, we try to ensure the products adhere to new regulatory labeling requirements, as well as assisting the development of new types of ESG products with the decarbonization team. When we consider the underwriting, formulating underwriting strategies, collecting data, metrics to screen potential clients against your own ESG, not zero criteria. One of the important subjects is the distribution. I really try to emphasize the importance of this as well. Assessing if brands used for distribution of products share the same ESG values, and providing a roadmap of training for your distribution network. We really found out that the distribution channels are very important in terms of the increasing the financial literacy of the people and the insured society. It is according to us, it's a game changer. I mean, because most of the communication from business to customer, B2C, is made by this distribution channel. So it's very important to making the financial literacy in a higher standards is going through this training, the distribution. Claims management, when we consider working with suppliers to help limit the operational carbon footprints of claim services, including a decarbonization strategy, for example, use of refurbished or recycled replacement parts for the cars. Finance and actuarial, incorporating ESG disclosures into a controlled non-financial reporting process, as well as building ESG into business planning processes and monitoring against key ESG metrics. And risk management, climate modeling, data technology, and I have to come quickly to people and culture, assistance on inclusion, diversity and equity, and sustainable workforce initiatives, as well as human rights monitoring, are one of the key issues that we consider under this subject. So when we, turn our perspective to sustainability, we believe that, and we try to own the subject of sustainability with the equal phrase of insurance. Insurance, we believe that all the outcomes of insurance are serving as a sustainability tool, okay? So we really a strong believer on this. So when we consider the climate change, developing risk modeling specifically for climate change revising insurance products and pricing, making living areas more resilient, which we do now at the moment after the earthquake. Try to impose this, because we have found out that this new nat cat scheme and the building scheme that has been issued in the previous big earthquake was only considering the building infrastructure, but we didn't, consider the landscape. I mean, the conditions of the land. Is it suitable for, building a big house or things like that, So really, we see that they're all vulnerable due to the land's condition, not because of the building's resilience. And we concentrate on micro-insurance in terms of the we believe that this enable insurance to be much more reachable and affordable for people, because really there is a huge gap between, the buying performance of the people. There's a gap between the east and west end of Turkey. The west is richer, and the GDP is something like double when we consider the east part average. So micro-insurance is a very good tool to, social inclusion and diversify insurance product to everybody. Lifetime income is another subject. When we come to the health, sustainability in health insurance is very important for us. We operate in a way that ensures access to healthcare and financial stability in long term, and we try to make it accessible using the technology. For example, the people who are living in the east part of Turkey cannot reach for example, hospital and doctor facilities, which are in a very high level in Istanbul, but due to digitalization, we can, match them and bring the services through the people which in the east end of the country, so that they can communicate and give their data with some certain tools to the doctor, and then they really have the diagnose what we have in the face-to-face health service. 90% they can reach these services due to digitalization, thanks to really technology. Environmental responsibility. We believe that environmental liability is the obligation of the company to compensate the damage caused by activities to the environment, and is an element that is becoming more common among insurance companies. And natural resources are an important source of risk opportunity for insurance industry. Insurance companies help manage risks by offering insurance policies against risks such as depletion of natural resources, pollution, and climate change. And internal event subject is just concentrate on insurance companies, their own perspective. They have company policies to reduce their environmental effects for the pollution. When asking customers and vendors for this, compliance, they will really have a huge impact for the society. We believe in that. So, when we consider the green transformation of the sector, as I mentioned, that we are much more concentrated on the E of ESG. As you'll see, I'll share you some data according to the sustainability reports taken from the companies which are issued in the stock exchange. We conducted a survey to measure the green transformation awareness. I will share you the data as well. In addition to this we go to paperless insurance. Industry practices try to be, get rid of all the paper from our life. So we largely adopted the paperless office practices. Examples include carrying out damage processes with mobile applications, risk analysis, with tablet devices, and damage control with devices. I mean, this has been introduced due to pandemic conditions, but it will serve a good opportunity for paperless environment as well. So we really own it and apply it as a tool for transition. In addition to the cloud system, it is seen that most processes with the company, expense, permission, advanced payments, have been moved to green world. Within the scope of ESG, our insurance companies are signatories of national and international associations and organizations such as UN Global Compact, Association of Global Compact signatories, UN Women's Empowerment Principles. It is expected that sustainability awareness by this way will gain importance within the community and the market. In addition to insurance products for electrical vehicle charging stations and solar energy and wind power plants, there are products that support sustainability, such as automobile insurance policies for electrical vehicles. When we consider the survey results, we have 71 players within the market. So it's about 41 of them are non-life and 17 from life and pension, and 4 reinsurance companies, and 6 of them is only life insurance. So 71 companies all responded to this survey. We found out that 85% of them are full awareness about ESG and sustainability. 82% has a board or C-level ownership around this issue. 61% of them defined their policy, and 55% of them has a sustainability committee, rather, or a department within the company. So here are the results that you see, from the environmental perspective. 63 of our members are working on energy-saving data center designs, cooling optimization, and data centers, and the implementation of environmental friendly cooling systems, and correct disposal and recycling of electronic waste. 45 of them take ESG criteria into consideration when choosing their suppliers. 64% of them keep records of energy and water consumption amounts, which is very important for reporting, and 55% of our companies carry out product development activities that are recyclable, environmental friendly, health friendly, and support energy efficiency. So this is just a research that made by DUSEP, which is a research organization, which is recently they captured only. We have 5 of our players are have five of them as stock exchange listed companies. So they captured their reports throughout this, published ones, and we figure out what keywords they have in terms of these sustainability policies. So the main words: energy management. When we consider environmental sustainability policies, the first keyword is energy management. The second one is carbon emission. The third one is climate change. Fourth one is water management. Fifth one, waste management. and sixth is biodiversity. When we consider the economical sustainability policies, first word is risk management, the second is financial performance, third one is corporate governance, fourth, brand management, five, combating corruption and transparency. And the last, social sustainability policies, when we consider, the first keyword is employee rights, the second is code of ethics, the third is stakeholder relations, fourth, customer satisfaction, fifth, social responsibility, and sixth, employee satisfaction. So, I mean, I try to give these figures to give a clue about what are we prioritizing on our social and ESG responsibility and awareness. So, when we consider also the funding side, what we are investing on green economy, I mean, the companies were, aware that they're transferring some. Sorry. Oh, 5 minutes. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm wrapping up. So these are the funds that are accumulated throughout the funds that we issue for the customers. Beside them, it's accumulating very quickly. There are 500,000 people investing in 7.2 billion TLs, which is issued very recently. These are sustainability bond names for the pension funds. So, I mean, yeah, as my friend Michael mentioned, that as the association, we are very limited, affecting area in terms of doing things for ourselves, because we have many, counterparts and stakeholders. So for the association, yes, it is, but we try to, convince and affect the society and market as well. What we do, we have a grand transformation committee, waste management policy we are working on. A business continuity report and emergency action plan we are revising after the earthquake, initiating new products and reform programs, which are we really give huge importance on them, because we are trying to affect the society by these tools as well. And we are very sensitive into gender equality and social inclusion. 56% of the market and insurance sector is dominated by women, which is we honor for it, So, I'm passing the last conclusion page. Transition to a climate-conscious economy is one of the largest priorities of our time. So, I think we believe that insurance has three, major key roles. First, insurance companies will be key in building resilience. Second, insurance companies can help to scale up the climate economy. And third, insurers are among the largest asset managers, so they can, shape it up according to their financial power and allocate the funds to the right places, so we can affect the environment. So at least the last word, ESG will be the one of the top priorities, one of three for the next 5-year strategic plan for the Turkish Insurance Association. But it will be challenging for us, balancing the both sides of the spectrum. It will not be easy, but we will work hard. Thank you very much for listening to me, for your patience. Thank you.